Is intuition really like a muscle, something that the more you use it, the better it'll get? Yes and no. Let's cover that today. These videos are focused in on educating, demonstrating, teaching, opening up possibilities and ideas. So if you're opening up your intuition, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to hit the notification button because I don't want you to miss any of the upcoming videos. They're going to help you a lot. There are pop culture statements that I can tend to push back on. And I push back on them for a reason, because sometimes a very simple statement can be not only translated in a lot of different ways, but it can also be extremely limiting. And while it might not be completely false, which is kind of the one we're going to talk about today when it comes to intuition, it can still block you. So let's unblock you. Let's take out of our dictionary, out of our verbiage, out of our speech, the sentence, intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Let's take that right on out, or transform it, or turn it into something that's a little bit more accurate for you. Now, there's the positive and the negative of this one. This one isn't just straight down, nope, can't get behind it. There is some truth behind it, but it doesn't discuss how it's true. It doesn't discuss how it works. It doesn't discuss what you need to be doing when you tap in more frequently to your intuition in order to strengthen it. This sentence left by itself kind of makes you think, well, if I just sit down and meditate into my intuition frequently, it'll just open up and it'll get stronger. And there's going to be a little bit to that. Yeah, anything you do, you're going to get used to doing, but you're never really going to widen that intuitive channel, be able to access your signs, your symbols, your techniques, your knowledge. That is how your personal intuition works. If you just sit down, use it, sit down, use it, sit down, use it. I tell people all the time, when I opened up, I was 32 years old when I opened up. Before that, complete skeptic. So I was searching right away. I was like, all right, I'm open to this stuff being real. So what do I do? And I went to a couple different courses. They were smaller courses, smaller town type thing. And, like in the outskirts of the city, I would drive out and go to a little class here and there. And they all really did the same thing, which was based on the concept, intuition is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And they would simply give me an object or give me a deck of cards or sit down and say, okay, tap in. What do you get? And my response was, well, what am I doing? Well, and they would say, you're being intuitive. Okay, I came to learn how. I mean, I can sit at home and play with cards and pendulums and just sit in and tap in and all that. And I'm going to very slowly start to get things. I'm probably going to be a little bit more discouraged than I am encouraged, but I could probably slowly get some things. And so this isn't really helping. I need to know why. This was where I started to realize it's not just how long you spend sitting with the intention of being intuitive. It's what you do with that time. So not completely yes, not completely no to this particular pop culture statement. Yes, I do think you should devote time every week if you can. Heck, 5 minutes a day if you can. I think you should devote time to sit down and explore your intuitive channel, but it's not just sitting there and using it that's going to make it stronger. And it's not necessarily something that gets stronger. It's something that you get more access to. So instead of thinking about intuition like this cute little, baby animal that's gonna, you're gonna play with it, feed it, water it, and just be with it. And just, if I just spend time with it, it will grow into this big, strong animal. Intuition isn't necessarily something that grows. It's not something that gets stronger. Intuition is more like a door that is slammed shut, usually in our teen years. I could go on about that. But it gets slammed shut from our personal, emotional, environmental, and mental clutter. That clutter closes a door on your intuitive channel, which, by the way, your intuition, it's in there. It's 100% strong. It doesn't have to get stronger. It's already there. You just need to uncover it. You need to learn how to open that door. And so, yes, if we stick with this metaphor, sitting at that door, you're going to sit every day. You're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to go with the phrase, intuition is like a muscle. The more I use it, the stronger it gets. So in this metaphor, you sit down in front of that door and you say, okay, I'm using it. I'm using it. Here I am. I'm going to use my intuition 3 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. Here we go. By the end of the week, it's going to be clear as a bell. It'll all make sense then. Doesn't quite work like that. And if you're listening to this session today, you know me. I don't want to leave you without some way of approaching what you've taken from this session into your intuition and approaching how you sit with your intuition. So this is the point where you're listening to the session and you're saying, all right, Bo, well, that's great. Thanks for dispelling that. And thanks for saying that that's not really what it is. So what is it? All right, let's get into this, because I want you to leave this session with this excitement to spend time with your intuition, because if you know how to and what to do, it grows faster. It doesn't grow faster. Listen to me. That's exactly what we were talking about. It doesn't grow faster. It opens faster. Okay, I won't hesitate anymore, because what I want for you is I want for you to be able to walk away from this session with something to focus on and something to do and something to actually open that door to your intuition. Here's the thing. Time spent with your intuition is okay if you just sit down and set your intent to be open intuitively. Okay, let's see what comes through. There's nothing wrong with that. That is good. You should always do that and try that. However, when you take that time and you allow yourself to, first off, figure out how you hold yourself best to open the door. And then secondly, when something does come through your intuitive channel, when you allow yourself time to review what that felt like, looked like, smelled like, tasted like, heard like in your senses, then that's where the growth happens. That's where the growth happens. Intuition is like being dropped into the middle of a huge field, and out ahead of you, 7 miles in the distance on this flat land, are 100 different houses. And you know that one of those houses is the perfect fit for how you hold yourself intuitively, how you access your intuitive information, and how you use your dictionary and the techniques that work for your personal intuition and intuitive channel. So now you got to navigate your way through the field. You got to start walking in a direction. You got to say, okay, well, that might be the house. That might be the perfect house for me to be in with my intuition. So you start walking there. And then the closer you get to the house, the more it starts to fade. And you go, oh, okay, that didn't work. All right, that's not working. Now I need to go toward a different house, right? And you start moving over toward a different house and it starts to become more vivid. And you're like, okay, this house is more clear. This is what intuition is like. You need to navigate through it enough to pay attention to not only what works, but what doesn't work. Everyone's intuition is different. If your best friend is super intuitive first thing in the morning, and then that's what you think that's how it works, and so every morning you get up and you try to tap into your intuition and you keep struggling, this is your invitation to try your intuition at night, to try to sit down and meditate into it at night. These are the different types of techniques. So yes, spending time using your intuition, rock star, please do it. It is awesome. That's what I want you to do. But no to the whole concept of it's a muscle that just gets stronger the more you use it. Just simply using intuition in a very long time will help you open up and learn how to use it. I want to get you there a little bit faster. So I want you to not only use it, and at the end of this video, I'll give you some techniques to get started, especially if you're brand new. You're like, well, great, how do I use it? I will give you some starter techniques that you will love and that will help for you. But some people here have been using their intuition for a very long time, and I am inviting all of you to not only pay attention to when it works best for you and when it doesn't, and make note of that and start to transform your intuitive sessions and moments, even if they're just for yourself, to get information around those things that work and away from the things that don't. Not only that, but once you do have an intuitive moment and something comes through your five senses and you see something, hear something, feel something, taste something, know something, when that happens, please take a moment to review it and say, how did that come through? What did that feel like? This is a little bit of observation. So, in a fun way, when you first start using your intuition, or if you've been using your intuition for a long time, I want you to play that game that we played as kids, hot and cold. You're getting warmer, getting warmer. Ooh, nope, getting colder, getting colder. And I want you to actually listen to that. Stand up, sit down, go outside, go inside, be in a room with people, be in a room alone. Have an element around you. Use cards, use pendulum, use nothing. I want you to try a bunch of different things. Good old hot and cold game. Getting warmer, getting warmer. Woof, hot. That's what I want you to get to. And then you'll have an intuitive moment. Like I said, at the end of this session, I will guide you toward a couple of techniques that you can get started if you're a beginner. But then you have a moment that's intuitive and it comes through. After that moment, take a moment to really analyze it. How did it feel? What did it look like? What did it feel like? You know, in another video, I talk about being able to see and what does it really look like for an intuitive to be able to see. Everyone sees differently. Some see in vivid color, some see in dull, dull light. That's me. I see like I'm looking into a dark room. I don't have vivid color. I see very well. It's attached to understanding for me. And the information that comes through that way is very accurate, but it's not like, you know, in full color. So how does it work for you? The more you talk about it to yourself and analyze to yourself, hey, this is what happened. And oh, it was kind of interesting because it showed up this way. It came off from my right side. It showed up on the right side of me, or it showed up on the left side of me. The more you do this, the more you will open that incredible door to your intuition, which, remember, is already open. It's already accessible. It's already 100% strong. You just need to declutter. And you need to open it up. Declutter is a whole nother situation that we can talk about. That's a big focus in the Sage Method course. So if you're brand new, I'm going to give you a couple tools to get started. If you've been using your intuition for a little bit, or you're really, really, really curious about it, I'm going to guide you toward the Sage Method course. That's the 7-week master course. I've been teaching it for so long at this point. It's an award-winning course on opening up your intuition. So if you really want absolute guidance for 7 weeks, step-by-step, do this, then do this, do this, do this, that's the course for you. And if you've been doing intuition for a while, if you've been even professionally using it or just using it in your day-to-day life for a while, I challenge you to open that door a little wider. I challenge you to add on, you might already know how the best to get into your intuitive state. So I would challenge you to really add on that observational piece at the end, because it will really fast forward your access to that door. Okay, for the beginners, here we go. If you don't already have the Top 5 Intuitive Tools course, it's a series. It's an actual 5-part series course. It's not mini. It is free, so please don't hesitate to get it. There's no cost to it. I've given it to, I can't even think of how many people in the world at this point. There are at least 3 tools in there that are going to help you. The first one that's really awesome is defocusing. So get into a space that's quiet. If you're starting from the beginning, just get somewhere that's quiet and not a lot of distractions, because our left brain, that can be very distracting. So get somewhere where there's very few distractions, and think about the concept of defocusing. Think about relaxing your gaze, closing your eyes, work on forgetting, releasing, letting go of the agreed upon reality around you. Meaning all you need to do is work on focusing about letting it go. Imagine yourself in perhaps like a white room. If you need a guided audio, I'll put Discovery Meditation in here. That's a guided audio that can help you feel when you're stepping into intuition. So empty, quiet, peaceful environment, think in terms of defocusing and relaxing and letting the world around you fall away. That's the best place to start. And remember, might not happen the first time, but keep trying. Keep trying. Because the thing about intuition, and I can't stress this enough. Yes, I've been teaching the SAGE method for years. I've taught people all over the globe. This is rewarding and exciting, but you know what? The number one thing that people come back telling me about this course at the end of it, completing it, by the way, I did all the techniques in the course myself when I first opened up, so I can relate to this, is how much their overall life has improved and how much clarity they now have even on their human path. And that right there makes me ridiculously happy, absolutely happy. So there's huge benefits to using your intuition. Take this, give it a try. If you're advanced, go deeper, and really, really bring it into your life, because it can be so helpful, so helpful. All right, jump in. Here's one more technique. If you're still wanting some techniques to get started and to get used to accessing your intuition, jump into this video next. It's the perfect one.